Mental health is a life sentence without parole. Too many of us carry invisible wounds, trauma, loss, shame, and silence. I created the Crawl, Walk, Run podcast to break that silence, to give a voice to the voiceless. This is not just a show. It is a platform, a place where authors, veterans, first responders, survivors, and everyday people can share their truth without fear of judgment. We crawl through the darkness. We walk toward healing, and we run into purpose. Together, we will build this community. This podcast is about resilience, about stories that matter, and about reminding the world that your voice could save someone's life. I'm your host, Steve-O, and this is Crawl, Walk, Run.
Award-winning author Kiril Kristoff, originally from Bulgaria, delivers a story that spans over 300 years, crossing Eastern Europe, war, and the pursuit of the American dream. This isn't just historical fiction. This is legacy. Crossing Borders of Time follows generations of families torn from their homeland, forced to rebuild through faith, survival, and identity. From Ukraine to Bulgaria to America, this story carries bloodlines, sacrifice, and everything that gets passed down. Blending historical truth with near-death and out-of-body experiences, Kristoff brings the past into the present, where history doesn't stay buried, it speaks. His work has earned top honors, including the Literary Titan Gold Book Award, multiple International Impact Book Awards, and recognition as Author of the Year, along with the 2026 President's Choice Award. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about where you're from. It's about what you survive, what you carry, and whether your story dies with you or lives on.
I am Storytime with Steve-O. Here we are again. Crawl, Walk, Run podcast. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather because the weather outside is 80 and then it's 60 and then it's 50. So I have an amazing guest. This is season 3. So this is an admin note. I want to thank all the veterans, all the people that are struggling, all the authors, all the people that are trying to be authors, everyone that's subscribing to the channel. If you want to be on the show, reach out. Just DM me or send me an email. So this is season 3. We have amazing guests coming. I'm booked out to like May, but some of the spots are open because I have to work around people's very important schedules. In the next coming weeks, I have a very, very important guest. He is a country music star, a Marine Corps veteran. That's all I'm going to say. I can't say anything else because I still have to work everything out with the public affairs, his media team. But he personally reached out to me, and I was blown away. So this is season 3, episode lucky number 13. I really hope I don't butcher this guy's name. He's from Bulgaria. The title of this show is From Bulgarian Teen to Multi-Award-Winning Author. Not just one, not two. Like, this guy is like Author of the Year, and we're going to get deep into it. So this is Kiril Kristoff. I hope I said that right. I'm going to bring him in here, and we're going to knock it out. So let me go ahead and bring him in here. Bear with me. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Steve.
How are you, man?
I'm excellent. I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you. I've heard so much about you from the sources, Johanna and some others, and I almost got to meet you last year, but I didn't go. But that's a different story. This is all about you. So I always ask my guests that come on the show 3 or 4 questions, and you're going to get all 4. So what does Crawl, Walk, Run mean to you, sir?
Okay. So because of traumas, psychological, physical, and any kind. For me, I was so excited about your show because the title "Crawl, Walk, and Run" immediately stick to me. So even we come from different walk of life, hit by different trauma. We getting up and walk and run towards our destiny, because sometimes all this uh, trauma are meant to stop us, but through perseverance and faith and believing in God, and we're gonna overcome. So I'm here to tell everybody who is starting to write a book, memoir, or something about his life, and something that he persevere. It's good to write it, publish it, and he will be happy to bring it to life, because sometimes books can answer our questions and can put us up to persevere and fight.
So, what is trauma? And if you don't have trauma, what do you do to help other people with trauma?
Yes, I'm a licensed physical therapist, so I work with physical injury, trauma, after surgery, in all kind of disease that I'm trying to bring the patient back to normal. I think everybody born in Earth has a traumas, psychological or physical, depends of their life. Because my father was also in the army, and he was disabled, and he was the reason I choose to become a physical therapist, because after they discharged him from the army, he was not able to bend up and to do anything. I was every day next to him and give him exercises, massages, stretching. So he finally get better. And because he was in the army, in the elite national sports academy, and he has a sports trauma, and this was put him in very bad shape, and they discharged him from the army. But I believe even the difficulty he have to go, as a son, and my desire to help him brought me to become a physical therapist. So in my book, to come from different country with $200 and two suitcases, and go in New York and land there and try to survive. And sometimes there is a statistic that half of the immigrants, the first years in the beginning, they have PTSD because of the stress coming from different uh, uh, places. They have to survive, they have to work, they have to uh, blend to the culture and learn the English. So for me was very difficult, but thank God all these difficulties sometimes bring us to places that we're going to be able to write the books. So that's why I wrote these 3 books during the pandemic season. And I said, I'm 62 and I need to write something about my grandchildren. one day to leave a legacy, not only the book, but legacy in information, what country their grandparents came from back in the old world in Europe. So I was so happy to do that. And just for a year, I got like 10, 15 book awards, international book awards competition. It looks like the three books are very good because I have a good review on Amazon, different book reviews on good reads and different. And the trauma make me to become a writer was in 6 years in my life I start to stutter.
Wow.
So to stutter is something that is very uncomfortable. You cannot express yourself. You cannot say your name. You become something that every moment you want to say something, but the word and the phrase you have to go around. So every time you are in constant stress just to express yourself. So that's why I decided to write three books and do three audio books just to be able to put my writing uh, uh, as a as the writer without accent, without difficulty to talk, and to put them in paper and audiobooks so that people can hear them and can influence in their life.
So, um, you already seem like you answered the next question about
Okay.
what do you do to help people with trauma. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to immediately to the fourth question. So prior, because you're from Bulgaria and European countries, you had to serve in the military. So the last question is, what was your transition like the 2 years that you had to serve for the Bulgarian army? When you got out, what was your transition like? And then after that, the whole platform belongs to you, and you can start and tell your story. And I will show certain things, and I will interject and ask you some things about being author of the year and being selected and things that other authors.
Yes.
So I have to ask you one thing with your trauma,
Yeah.
with your stuttering. Did you have a stroke?
No, no. As a child, I was uh, animal jump into me and scare me to the point that I start to stutter. So this is 5 years old.
Oh
Before
wow.
I was able to talk a normal, and after the stuttering, I become this changed my life because all the bullies and the jokers and they start to imitate and put you in very uncomfortable position. But even that, I was able to focus and I finished the high school with the high honor and college because it took me time to focus and fight and just to be able to talk a normal so the people can accept me and validate me. But it was as a child in a very early age it was very difficult.
So what was your 2 years after you served in the Bulgarian military? What
Yeah. All
mission?
right. So back in Bulgaria, like 35 years ago, I was in the army. It's a 2 years a mandatory army service. I was in the border of Bulgaria with Greece and Turkey. So this was the place, like you told me, you serve in Germany. So East Germany and West Germany. This is the Berlin Wall. And you have to imagine the whole Eastern uh, block was covered with high burp special wall, so can separate the east of the west. So I was in an army, in a border army, and this was the place that many young people were trying to escape Bulgaria, because this was uh, outdoor, huge outdoor prison, connect with all the Eastern European country controlled by the Soviets. And in the army, you are in total submission control. If you make a mistake, and you can go imprisoned. Many young people escape the border just to come in East Western Europe and America, but after that, all their family were suffering. So for me, the first thing after the fall of the Berlin Wall, I got my international passport, and because of physical therapy, it was in shortage in this country. So I was happy to come in New York and get my license and open 2 businesses. And I was surprised that uh, in America, you have such a freedom and opportunity. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to study, whatever business you want to open, this was for me unbelievable. And that people are not taking advantages. So if you have a document, if you are good with something, you can work for yourself, and you can do you can not only survive but thrive. So this was in the army was very difficult, because back in Bulgaria, for 2 years they didn't give you so much vacation time, and you are constantly in the army. But after I left the army, I was in a Christian conference in Germany, and they invite us in the American base in Germany. So on Sunday I saw a church. I saw church that Baptist, Pentecostal, all kinds of religions were able to worship God. Back in Bulgaria, because of atheistic country, it was forbidden to go in church, to go on Easter, in Christmas. So it was a total control. And for me, going back to normal life back in Bulgaria in the 90s, I saw the big inflation back, and it was very difficult to raise a family. And because of physical therapy opportunity in the States, I came in New York. So this was my story.
But when did you start writing?
I started back in high school, uh, but after I came here, I was so busy, and I had 2 businesses, physical therapy. I was constantly busy. But during the pandemic, I actually have 4 books in English and 1 published in Bulgarian. And my first book, Crossing Borders and Generation, I translated it into Bulgarian. So I'm going to visit Bulgaria and have a signing tour. And in the Bulgarian community in Chicago, in Philadelphia, I visited, and I sell and sign a lot of books. But for me, uh, writing is a therapy, because during all this time to come in America and work hard and build a house for your family and businesses, you don't have time to reflect in your life. But after I start to write, this become a natural therapy for me. So all the stress, all the trauma, all this difficult moment, because I was able to put it on the paper, I relived it. So it was like a healing. So it was very good. Every time I start to write, I was so inspired, excited, and at least I sell a lot of books. I was invited in Christian conference in West Virginia, but for me, these books are mostly as a legacy and something that I can give to my children and grandchildren, just to know where their parents and grandparents came from. Because today in America, I see a movement because of this, a melting pot of ideas and wokeness. The young people uh, become so delusional, and sometimes I'm telling people, just go and travel in the world, go in Europe and understand how people live there. You're gonna come back in America and be and gonna kiss the ground and see what country America is the best country in the world to raise a family and make a business. So that's why I was able to write this book, and thank God. My next American dream is to put this book into a movie, not only on book and audio book, but to be transformed in a movie. So I am in communication with Angel Studio and other independent Christian studios. So I hope somebody, producer or somebody who can understand the mentality of Eastern Europe and the immigrant mentality, and and will be able to, to to write the screenplay. And one day I believe this is gonna be a movie. So the book is mostly uh, historical fiction, both. So this is my first book, uh, Crossing Borders and Generations. So I was so happy that I got uh, like International Impact Book Award, the trophy, and mostly international Christian Book Award, and a lot of certificates. So I am so happy that people responded to my book, and I'm so happy that I met you on Facebook. So I'm able to be on your show and podcast.
Now, is this your first podcast?
No, no, I have like 5 podcasts so far.
So, do you, as an multi-award winning author, do you recommend other authors to tell their stories on podcasts to get out there?
Definitely. I think this is the best way uh, to talk about your book, to um, explain the book, because one thing is to check on Facebook the image about the book to see it. But if you are able to listen a conversation and in depth, in details about the book, sometimes it's much easy because in America the distances we travel, you can put it in audiobook, you can put it on Speechify, you can listen and you can learn a lot.
So you're on Kindle, you're on audiobook, you're on softback, hardback.
Yes, yes. I have a audiobook. I have a three audiobook. My first is on Audible and Voices. Voices is like a 10, 15 different platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're on
So
you're on a distribution plan.
yes, it's a multiple platforms. So I got a very interesting deal because it was difficult for me to find a narrator with the same voice and accent. So I got somebody from Georgia, and he was a medical student. So at the moment I heard his voice is very similar to the Bulgarian, a Slavic accent, and he was looking for a job. So I hired him, and he did a marvelous job. So
All three,
uh,
all three done by the same narrator.
no, just the first, and the second and third is from different. It's a girl. It's a female voice because at the beginning the male was very good, but I want to change to female voice.
When you change the female voice, did you sell more?
It's just a different because the second book is mostly a love story between grandson George and his girlfriend Elizabeth. So female voice is much emotional and was able to make the audiobook much relatable. And I also 2 days ago apply companies called uh, a voyage. So you apply and you can get and uh, have an interview with a producer dependent of your genre. So you can talk with somebody and discuss about your book and how you want to do the play screen script and to have like an intellectual property, a document. So if somebody, a big studio are interested, so the producer just send them the information that is yours. Otherwise, people don't have the time to listen and look. But if somebody prepare in a video form as a trailer and as a paper in paper, and you have a copyright of this, and if he like it, he can call you and start a conversation. So I'm so happy with these people because their company is in Hollywood in Los Angeles, so they are more connected with producers.
Okay. Did you start out as a self-published?
Yes, self-publish is much easy because I uh, wrote my three book as a self-publish, but I'm continuing to send a submission for literally agents that they can connect me with the biggest uh, traditional publishing company.
So
Because yeah,
are you you're a publisher now?
I was published by USA Publishing Company. It's not by myself. I'm self-published, but this company, I use their editor, so they help me to do the front page design. So they publish me under them. But in the future, I'm looking for traditional publishing company because if the literary agent like your book and send it to the right place and they sign a contract, you don't have to worry to sell the book. They have a um, big companies that were able to sell and represent your book, because sometimes self-publishing, even I just published the book, first book, 2024, and I got 25 Amazon book reviews, but this is not enough. You need to reach more people on different social medias and try to make the people understand your book. So I did two uh, uh, video video uh, trailers. So I'm trying to send it to different people. So that is a struggle because one thing is to write a book, but other is to sell the book. So you have to become a writer, a editor, a seller, and be able to visit a podcast like your podcast so people can start to learn about your book, and if they want to check it, they can buy the book on Amazon. I have my own website, so you can buy directly.
Okay, so are you on Barnes and Noble?
Yes, I am on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and like 10 uh, different platforms.
Okay.
But my audiobook is more into the voices, so they have a multi platforms, and I just published it 5 days ago, so it's early to. But I'm trying in different uh, social media just to see what is gonna happen. Because just for a month on Amazon they publish four a million books are published for a month. So can you imagine the books available? It's very difficult on the American market. Back in Bulgaria, it's much easy because I have a friends and publishers. They connect me. I go and do a book tour and shows. So it's a small country. Bulgaria is with the size of Pennsylvania as a state.
Let's talk about Author of the Year.
Yes.
So you were selected now, Author of the Year, under your genre. What genre were you selected as Author of the Year? Because I know with International Impact Book Award, were there several that received Author of the Year under different genres?
I was selected under historical fiction and fiction. I apply for 2 different genres, and this was, for my surprise, my 3rd book, Crossing Borders of Time, got the author of the year on this International Impact Book Award, and the first time it was in Hollywood. It was so excited because the event, the red carpet event, was in the Lowe's Hotel next to the Dolby Hotel for the Oscars, and the director, the president of the event, want this to be Oscars for writers. So I was very surprised, very excited. At the beginning, I didn't believe, but after they sent me the email and they sent me all the information, I was able to attend. This was October 4, last year in Hollywood. So I was very pleased to be there, to meet different writers and make connections. So
Did you did Author of the Year help you, like, with your book?
yes, it helped me just to meet different people and writer. And I think after this event, I got some sell. I got some sell because I got my business card. So I meet people, give them the business card. We talk. So I got some sale, but it's not like I was invited in West Virginia by a pastor who I knew before, and he as a guest speaker. So he introduced me on the conference. So people were able. I sell like 100 books for a day. So people were more because the
Okay.
conversation, like on the podcast, you are
How,
talking about the book, you present the book, so people were able. I signed the book, so I was so happy.
how many books did you sell in one day?
80 books,
80. Wow.
yes,
Okay. Nice.
but it was a big conference. So
Okay. So there were other authors there?
oh yeah, it was different guest writers, a, a guest speaker. So it was good. I like this type because you meet the people, you talk, you discuss. But I'm trying to get more visibility on internet, on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble. So this for me is not a business to make a money because I'm still working as a physical therapist, but it's just a hobby, and to be able to meet so many people and touch so many lives. Because in New York, New Jersey area is a big immigrant community. So all this generation that came in the 90s back from Eastern Europe and Soviet Union, they will understand the book and they would like to buy the book and check it. And so this is my, uh,
Let's talk about this right here.
yes, this
This
is
one
gonna
of,
be,
this one of your biggest honors right now?
yes. I'm so happy. I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get this a prestigious international book award, like a uh, presidential award. This is gonna be in October 4 this year in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
What month did you win your category? What category did you win for the prestigious International Hope Book Award from Johanna Maria?
Again, I got it historical fiction and inspirational.
One book or two books?
Just one book, two categories.
Okay, and that was your first book, right? Or was that?
Yes, the first book was
right here?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Why don't you talk about our friend Johanna Maria Vendel? You were on her podcast, and she took a vision and turned it into a reality. And a lot of people don't know about this right here.
Yes, she is unbelievable. She is coming from South Africa, immigrant, 15 years in America, and I met her in Hollywood for the International Impact Book Award, and she invited me on the podcast. And this writer is unbelievable. She was able to put together for herself to be a president of her own international prestige book award. And if you know how much work it takes to do this and apply for different genres and different categories to read all the books, and unbelievable. She for me, she did even my she did the film, the movie trailer for my first book, and it was accepted by Angel Studios. So she is very talented as a writer, as a screenwriter, as a president, as an editor. Unbelievable. Some people have a gift, but if you don't step into your destiny and gift, you're never gonna know what you have inside of you. Yes.
So what would you tell a brand new author? Because I take awards that people get and call that credibility. That shows that you have what it takes to be a writer.
Yes. I think for me is a hobby and a therapy, but because I put it into paper, so it takes a lot of time, not just to finish the book, to publish the book, to show the book of the world. And for International Impact Book Award, altogether was 2,500 writers in different categories. So it's not like somebody is getting your book and they like your book. It's a big competition. 2,500 writers are sending an application in different genres. So you to be part of this group, like historical fiction and fiction, for me was a big honor, because somebody to recognize your book and be invited in an event like in Hollywood, to meet the same people, the same movie producers, and to introduce your book and to get to know all these people. This is a big honor for me. It's very difficult it's easy to start a book, to write the first 2, 3, 5 chapters, but it's very difficult to complete it and to put idea, inspirational story, so people can read and be inspired.
So do you think, let me ask you this question here real quick. For new authors or authors who think that, can you hear me?
I cannot.
You can't hear me. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? Nope, can't hear me. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, I lost my thought. But so authors who self-publish, what was harder, writing, editing, or marketing? Trying to get it like on a platform, like people think that they're going to put their book on Amazon and it's going to sell.
No, it's very difficult because uh, all the writing and the editing is very important to have the book ready to be published. In Amazon, it's free to publish, but like I say, a month I publish 4 million books in different genres. So I'm not a writer like I have a friend, they graduate from school, they have a major in writing, in literature. Uh, I'm a physical therapist, but for me, this gift was a dormant, and because I took the time to focus, and because of my stuttering, I was able to write the book because it's very difficult to talk. So a person who can write the book w- without accent, and English obviously is not my first language, so it's very important the editor to write and check the book and clean the book and make it in the best shape it can be. But to sell books for me was something different because it's good to go in different social media and platforms, but to sell for me is very difficult because I it's a marketing. You have to uh, optimize your Amazon. I did like 2 days ago. I optimized my Amazon A+ uh, content. So it's a marketing tool. So if somebody who are looking for historical fiction, my book is gonna come on the top.
The
So
SEO.
yes, so it's optimizing. It's cost a little bit more, but at least people can start to see the book, and if you have this A+ content
The
into
key
your
search words, right?
yes.
That's probably the most important thing to get you, because like I've noticed, now I'm not gonna say much, but I know my second book hit 1 and 2 bestseller on Amazon, but that's not me. That's you. But with the key search, because I think the best thing is you look at all the different categories, and sometimes the words don't hit.
Yeah,
So you have to like adjust your search words so that people
exactly.
can hit those words. And I think you're doing the right thing. And I think,
Optimize, and because of meta and artificial intelligence, it helps you to bring your book title up.
yes,
So it's something that I never understood, but there is a services. Even Amazon give you this. It's a free service on your account, but you have to understand how to do it and how to accomplish it. Because uh, if people don't see your book, if people uh, don't see your book uh, video trailer or read the article of editorial review about your book, if you don't have an internet online visibility, nobody will uh, be able to check the book. So it's a lot of work and costs money, but in the long run, it's a good thing, because for now it is very difficult to make money, but at least in the future, people is gonna start to check your book.
so if I didn't know who you were, what book would you recommend for me to read?
The first book is the first baby. The first baby is the most, but because this is the life of Grandpa George and the grandson Alex, and it was for me was I was inspired uh, because today the old generation, the great generation who made the way in America for their family are forgotten. I see, because I'm a physical therapist, I can see in a nursing home so many old elderly people left alone for holidays, like their children. They don't. They don't. Everybody is busy, but to leave your father and mother and not to pay attention, because back in my country, uh, the family have to take care of their parents. So you give a lot of attention and love for the people who gave you a life. So in America, because of this estrangement between the young generation and the old generation, that's why I wrote the book, because the grandfather saw that he is losing his grandson. He was brainwashed in high school, in the media and the culture. So he was able to bring him back to the old country, and it was out of body experience that I have already. So I decided to write in this way. And after car accident, they were uh, out of body. They had this out of body experience. They come back in Bulgaria uh, 35 years ago. So the grandson was asking all this question about Bulgaria, and the grandfather is explaining that he escaped Bulgaria because of communism. And coming in America, it's a democracy, an opportunity to make a life. And today, the young people are so fascinated about socialism and communism. So we have this a mayor of New York, voted by so many young people because they think the free education, the free healthcare, the free this, the free that. But sometimes the grandpa wants to teach a lesson for his grandson to go back in time to see what communism brought back in Bulgaria, and to be careful because sometimes people don't study in history what happened in Soviet Union and China. 100 million people were killed because of communism. And it's a good thing during the time of Ronald Reagan that all the propaganda, the voice of America. I remember as a soldier, I was able to catch the voice of America uh, in the army, and this was absolutely forbidden. They had a jamming devices to stop that, but we're trying with different antennas and different stuff to listen that, and I was so influenced. I was able to escape, but I was thinking about my family and father and mother that they will suffer. But after the fall of the Berlin Wall, this was my heart desire to come in America because this is the best country in the world.
Well, Kristoff, I'm just going to say Kristoff to make it
Yes.
easy. I want to thank you very much. I know that you're extremely busy. We talk daily on social media. I believe that networking and education is the key to success. Uh, I want to say, I wish you the best of luck after this podcast. I don't want to lose contact with you.
Yes, sir.
Make
Thank
it
you.
if I can make it in October. I already told Johanna that I would come up there if I can. No one's gonna know I'm coming. I'm just gonna surprise everybody. I'm not gonna
Yes.
media that I'm coming, but I appreciate everything that you're doing for people in other countries. I know it's very hard with your disability of speaking, and I want you to show people that just because you have a disability of speaking or coming on a platform to talk, you are enough, man. Like you are doing it, brother. You're
Yes, sir.
you're not
Yes.
an author, man. You're you're an award-winning author. You're a multi-time freaking. You're an author of the year. You're up for the
Thank you.
presidential award, man. You like. Now let me ask you something about your books. Like, do you not put your seals on the front, on the back, on the inside, or anything, or do you put all that in the bios? Do you put all that in the bios?
I that's why I did this A plus uh, content on Amazon. They give you opportunity to put to write about your book, but also I on the front cover I put the sticker of all these book awards in the beginning on the front page, also on my social media and stuff, and I understand today people the attention span is so small. Person, if you don't catch his attention the first 5 seconds, forget about it. So you have to be able uh, by doing your front page cover and all these book awards to be able to show it, to be able to catch the eye. So that's why I'm focusing to do a movie trailer about the book and send to different uh, producers. So I hope, I believe this is my next American dream. So this book can reach the appropriate producer, and one day in the future it will be movie.
Well, I want to thank you.
Thanks, sir.
We are at 60 minutes there, brother. Usually
Excellent.
people 30 minutes, but since we know each other, you're an award-winning author, you're a best-selling author, you're a freaking author of the
Thank
year.
you.
I wanted to say I'm going to do my closing. I'm going to drop you down. When this is done downloading, I will send it. You can send it to your friends, but don't stream it because it's going to drop next Wednesday.
Yes.
April 8th, I believe that is what it says, April 8th.
Yeah.
And I will let you know what the next steps are, but I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast, brother.
Thanks, sir. And I'm in New Jersey, you in Pennsylvania. Sometime I may come to visit you.
Oh, I'll come to see you, man. I didn't know that. I thought you were at work, but I could jump ship on the weekend, man. Bring me
Definitely.
and my little long haired chihuahua with me, man.
I have a lot of friends, veterans with disability who do physical therapy. So I'm always with people with disability, and I'm inspired to see how they cope, and even the difficulties they do double and inspire other people
Man,
and fight.
I'm emotional, man. I'm
Yes.
emotional because I think if I had a speech impediment, I don't think I could do that, man. So my heart is out to you, man. I'm gonna drop you down and do the closing, and
I appreciate it. Thank you,
I
sir.
will reach out to you in about 30 minutes, man. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Love, peace, and joy, man. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Man, that was a mouthful right there. That was a long interview. But you know what, man? It's not my show. When I put somebody on the platform, man, and they're inspiring people, I can't cut them off, man. That was a very inspiring interview. I am asking authors that have trauma, that talk about things, to come on and talk about things that they got going on in their life. Always remember, I am Storytime with Steve-O, and I truly believe that mental health is a life sentence without parole. I truly do believe if you have a story, you need to come on. I think I'm totally different from a lot of different podcasts, and I just want to say this has been the Crawl Walk Run podcast, season 3, episode 13, from a Bulgarian teen to an multi-award-winning author, Mr. Kristoff. I'm not going to butcher the first part of his name, but I'm just going to tell you that, man, the struggle is out there, people, and you just seen it. This guy is a powerhouse. One day, maybe. That's not me, man. I'm a mental health advocate. This guy is out doing physical therapy with people. Love, peace, and joy. I am Storytime, and it's time to close. So I'm just going to let you with this right here. A little closing for episode 3. I'm out, people.
We were trained to endure, to adapt, to overcome, but nobody prepared us for what comes after the uniform comes off. This season, we're pulling the curtain back on the system veterans are forced to survive, not just serve. From suicides happening at VA hospitals, to mental health care that falls short, to growing fears about disability compensation ratings and cost cutting. We're asking the questions no one wants answered. Why are veterans still fighting for care? Who's really being protected? And who's being left behind? And what happens when silence costs lives? This isn't politics. This isn't opinions. This is lived experience. Season 3 of Crawl, Walk, Run, where we stop whispering, start questioning, and refuse to stay silent.
Crawl, Walk, Run has been brought to you by Storytime with Steve-O. And speaking for the once in silence, we are the voice of the unheard. If you have a story, please reach out. Till next time.